Live from Vintage Throne Stadium in Springwater Township, Baycats TV presents the Inter-County Baseball League. Tonight, round 2 of the playoffs begin, and it's the visiting London Majors in town to take on the hometown Barrie Baycats. Hi everybody, welcome to the broadcast. Julius Hern along with Ben Davy. We're glad to have you with us today on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie as well. Two teams that fought pretty hard over the regular season. London took the best of 5 season series by a margin of 3-2. Barrie coming off a 3-game sweep, however, Julius, of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Josh Matlow wanted to see his ball club get early leads. Boy, did they ever answer the bell in round 1.
They sure did. 18 hits in each of these home games that they had against the Toronto Maple Leafs. That game 2 in Toronto was a little bit closer than they might have liked it to be, but the fact that they had 18 hits in both the home games and only 1 home run across both is an incredible stat. Plus, they didn't trail in any of those 3 games in the series, so they're trying to keep that going through round 2.
As for the London Majors, they battled injuries all season long. Roop Chanderdat, their manager, said he was really impressed with the depth of his ball club and how hard they were able to fight through the regular season to get the number 3 seed that got them here to round 2.
Well, Roop's team knows what it takes to win. Champions in 2021 and 2022. Yes, they've been a bit banged up this year, but they've played the Baycats close all 5 games, coming out on top of the 3-2 head-to-head record. So to play that kind of baseball and just be 1 game behind Barrie's as much of an accomplishment as that as you could say of the last few years for the Majors.
Round 2, Majors and Baycats. It's a best of 5, and game 1 is next. Let's join our public address announcer now for the starting lineups. Here's Rob Daniels.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, welcome to Vintage Throne Stadium for season number 23 of Barrie Baycats baseball. It's game 1 of this second round of the Inter-County Baseball League playoffs between the London Majors and your Barrie Baycats. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visiting London Majors, managed by Roop Chanderdat. Batting first, playing second base, number 27, Gibson Kresminski. Batting second, the third baseman, number 14, Victor Plaz. Batting third, the catcher, number 36, Eduardo Deolio. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 34, Caden Cardoso. Batting fifth in left field, number 7, Starling Joseph. Batting sixth in right field, number 22, Byron Reichstein. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 35, Cleveland Brownlee. Batting eighth in center field, number 19, Champ Gardner. And batting ninth at shortstop, number 97, Tyler Mosher. On the mound tonight for the Majors, number 25, Travis Keys. And now, the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Matlow. Batting first in center field, number 9, Canis Ejo. Batting second, the shortstop, number 11, Brandon Hernandez. Batting third at first base, number 29, Malik Williams. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting fifth in left field, number 20, Nolan Makibroda. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 55, Hayden Jaco. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 26, Adam Odd. Batting eighth at second base, number 7, Royce Ando. Batting ninth, the right fielder, number 47, Brad McQuinn. And on the mound tonight for your Baycats, number 97, Frank Garces. Here are the umpires for tonight's ball game. Behind the plate, we have Sean Schaefer. Handling first base, it's Jeff Rose. And at third base, Scott Costello. Fans, can you please rise if you are able to and kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you.
London Majors and Barrie Baycats. It's round 2 of the 2024 IBL playoffs here on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. And this crowd already fired up. Playoff energy here at the ballpark tonight. And you know the games are starting to get important, Julius, when the sun is already almost set behind the trees before first pitch.
It's almost starting to feel like fall baseball, isn't it? And I think these fans definitely know what's at stake tonight, second round of the playoffs, game 1. And I think you probably couldn't have gotten a better matchup for this second round than this. All 4 of the top teams in the IBL made it onto the second round. This 2-3 matchup is looking like it's going to be an exciting one.
London Majors wearing the blue camouflage and the road gray pants. Let's take a look at their lineup. Behind manager Rube Chanderdat tonight. Second baseman Gibson Krasminski is the leadoff man. Former Baycat Victor Plaz batting second at third base. Eduardo De Olio, the catcher, in the 4th spot. Cleanup man is Caden Cardozo. He's at first base tonight. Starling Joseph, veteran left fielder, bats 5th. Byron Reichstein, the right fielder, bats in the 6th spot. Cleveland Brownlee, the DH. Champ Garner, the center fielder. And Tyler Mosher, the shortstop. 7-8-9 for the Majors here this evening.
On the mound for the Baycats, the lefty, the ace of the Baycats pitching staff, Frank Garces, coming off his Game 1 win against the Maple Leafs last week, where he only allowed 3 hits, no earned runs, couple walks. It's a dominant outing on his part. 3rd best ERA in the IBL this year, 2.35. He's looking to extend that into another incredible playoff performance.
34-year-old Dominican left-hander from San Cristobal, Dominican Republic, a former San Diego Padre, for those who may not be familiar with his major league tenure over 2014 and 2015. And he's back with the Baycats here for the 2024 playoffs. As the Baycats throw the ball around, and we'll get ready for the first pitch here tonight. Umpires tonight, Sean Schaefer calling the balls and strikes, Jeff Rose at first, and Scott Costello behind the bag at third. Gibson Krasminski steps in, and Frank Garces, the left-hander, with a fresh baseball, and he'll get ready to throw the first pitch of tonight's ball game on a beautiful night here at Vintage Throne Stadium in Springwater Township. First pitch from Garces. It's a called strike. 7:39, and we're underway with a 21-degree temperature here at the ballpark. 23 with a humidex. Wind blowing slightly out as this one right down the line, picked up by Williams, bobbles it, and diving to the bag safely is Gibson Krasminski. Well, when you're struggling, you'll take a base any way you can, and that certainly was not by design.
Well, tough play there from Malik Williams. He had to be wary of where that base runner was, how close he was to him, and he took his eye off the ball a little bit too early there. Wasn't able to make that play. That's going to be a tough start for the Baycats, an error on the first batter of the game.
Should have been an out, wasn't an out, and an error rightly charged to the Baycat first baseman. So Krasminski is aboard after reaching base just once in the Hamilton series. As I mentioned, he was really struggling to get going. And another bunt, and this one is foul off the bat of third baseman Victor Plaz. So Krasminski now 2 for 15 in the playoffs. Actually, sorry, 1 for 15, as that's an error, so statistically it doesn't count as a hit. Gets the lead. Does not go. Garces deals. It's right back to the mound. Glove by Garces. No play at first as Krasminski is back.
Well, luckily for Garces, he was falling off the mound towards that first base side, and he was able to get a quick jump and get to that ball very quickly. A tough play for a pitcher. You don't realize how far he is having to go all the way to that first base line. He makes a nice catch on it.
Krasminski, not much of a base stealer, just 5 attempts in the regular season. 38 games, he successfully stole 3. Sorry, 3 for 4. So just 4 attempts in the regular season. Swing and a miss by Eduardo De Olio. Manager Rube Chanderdat showing lots of confidence, keeping him in the top of the lineup. Malik Williams holds him on, does not go. The pitch, lifted foul, right side, and it's 0-2.
De Olio has been one of the power bats in this Majors lineup all season long, and even into last year where he was a first-team All-Star in the IBL. .295 average in the regular season.
Yeah, .471 through 4 playoff games. Pops that one foul as well. And the count, no balls, 2 strikes.
This is a very favorable matchup for him in terms of the left-right splits. Hit .400 against left-handed pitching in the regular season.
Frank Garces nods as he gets the sign from the catcher, Hayden Jaco. The leg kick and the pitch. It's high. One ball, two strikes. There's the crowd behind Frank Garces with a 1-2 count. He deals, runner goes, and it's fouled off the top of the screen. Krasminski was off with the pitch. He'll have to go back.
Krasminski had a great jump there, but Deolio having to protect the play out there on that 2-strike pitch.
Middle infield double play depth with one out. Brandon Hernandez at short, Roy Sando at second. Deolio waggles the bat as he waits for the 1-2 pitch, and it's on the ground, foul. 3 or 4 straight fouls off the bat of Eduardo Deolio here.
I'm surprised we didn't see Krasminski get a jump on that pitch as well. It's tough with the lefty, but he had a pretty well-sized lead at first base.
Hayden Jaco, one of the best arms in the IBL, behind home plate. Puts down the sign for Frank Garces. Runner leads.
If you're Krasminski, you want to do anything you can to stay out of that double play.
And he draws a throw. One ball, 2 strikes to Eduardo Deolio, the catcher. Garces kicks, deals, swing and a miss. A strikeout for IMP North and a big second out for Frank Garces.
First baseman number 34.
Well, that's what Frank Garces best. He brings the heat when he knows he needs it. Yet another 2-strike pitch against Deolio, and he blew it by him.
Frank Garces had 40 strikeouts in 47 innings of big league baseball, the MLB level, and one of the best strikeout men here in the IBL. Runner goes, throw down from the catcher. The tag applied, not in time. It was a bouncer, gloved nicely by Hernandez. Krasminski is in scoring position.
Well, the throw was in there in time, but it was just a little bit too wide of the bag on the outside. Had it been on the other side to where the part of the bag where Krasminski was reaching for, he might have a closer play.
So an error and a stolen base, and now the Majors with a chance to knock in the game's first run. Garces now behind, 2 balls and no strikes here. First 2-0 count of this inning.
Hayden Jaco behind the plate for Barrie, very reliable in terms of finding or catching base stealers this year. In the regular season, caught 7 of 25 would-be base stealers.
Roy Sando shifted around to the right. Brandon Hernandez keeping the runner. Krasminski honest at second. 2 balls, 1 strike. Garces delivers. Swing and a miss. It's a 2-2 count to Caden Cardozo. Cardozo, 327 average during the regular season. Struggled in round 1. Just 1 hit and 14 plate appearances. Pitch from Frank Garces on the way, and it's low and outside. Jaco up like a cat to look that runner back to second. So the count is full.
Right side of the infield for the Baycats, playing very close to that outfield grass, much more so than the left side.
Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. A strikeout for IMP North. Back-to-back as the London Majors strand a runner at second base in the top of the first inning. Barrie coming to bat. Scoreless tie here between the Majors and the Baycats. You're watching Rogers TV Barrie and Baycats TV YouTube. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Franz from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original two men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. Two small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Game 2 of the second round of the IBL playoffs. First thing at play at Vintage Throne Stadium, brought to you by McDonald's Barrie, home of the free fries with 5 Baycat strikeouts.
Baycats lineup features Kenny Sijo, Brandon Hernandez, Malik Williams, Ryan Rio, and Nolan Macabrota. Those 5 have been pretty consistent in the top half of the order for Josh Matlow here in the postseason. Hayden Jaco bats 6th, Adam Odd 7th, Roy Sando 8th, and Brad McQuinn, the number 9 hitter.
On the mound for the Majors, Travis Keys. He started the All-Star game for the South team and started Game 1 as well for these IBL playoffs against the Hamilton Cardinals. Game 2, pardon me.
5 innings of work that night, struck out 5, walked 3. A 1-0 count here to Kenny Joe. He deals, swing and a miss. 1-1. Majors got off to an outstanding start to the season here in 2024, a 6-1 start. Both these teams did well out of the gate. That one just missed, and the count is 2-1. Finished 3rd place, just behind Barrie with a record of 26-16. So 1 win was all that separated these two teams in the regular season standings when all was said and done. And that determined home field for this playoff round.
Makes that final week of the season all that much more important. The Baycats came back and won their final game against the Brantford Red Sox in a dramatic extra innings victory. And meanwhile, the Majors that same night lost to the Guelph Royals, which clinched 2nd place for Barrie, and that's why we're at this ballpark this evening.
Yeah, a lot of scoreboard watching on that final weekend. Off speed and a sails high off the glove of Deolio, the catcher. Three balls, 2 strikes to Kenny Sijo, the Baycats leadoff man. Pitch from Keys, and it's fouled off to the right. Majors wearing their alternate uniform tonight, the 2-tone light blue, dark blue camouflage print. Baycats wore red Throwback Thursday uniforms for the regular season, not in the playoffs though. It's back strictly to the home white here in the postseason. It's a called strike to Kenny Sijo. He tried to sell it and couldn't. And he's back to the dugout, 1 away.
Let's give it the Majors defense behind Travis Keys. In the outfield will be Starling Joseph in left, Champ Garner in center, Byron Reichstein in right field. Meanwhile, in the infield, former Baycat Victor Plaz at 3rd base, Tyler Mosher at shortstop, Gibson Krasminski at 2nd base, Caden Cardoso back over at 1st with Eduardo Deolio behind the dish.
Brandon Hernandez in his first season with the Baycats has contributed in a big way so far. First pitch hits him square in the back.
Well, if you're the Baycats, you'll take that as your first base runner of the game, and especially a guy like Hernandez with plenty of threat to steal against Keys. And with the way Malik Williams has been swinging the bat in these playoffs and towards the tail end of the regular season, you're going to do everything you can to get Hernandez in scoring position.
Malik Williams, a big series against Toronto. 6 hits and 11 at-bats. .545 average through those 3 games. Hopes to keep that pace going here in round 2. First pitch fastball hits it to right field, and a great running catch by the right fielder as caught off the bag for the double play is Brandon Hernandez. What a catch by Byron Reichstein in right. They double Hernandez off, and that eliminates any Baycat threat here in the bottom of the first inning. So we played one, still scoreless here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Rogers TV, Baycats TV on YouTube. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Top of the second, Vintage Throne Stadium. Round 2, Game 1 of the 2024 IBL playoffs. Ben, Davy, Julius, Hern with you. Brian Backland, our producer behind us. Starling Joseph to lead it off for London. If you're just joining us, London in the top of the first got the leadoff man aboard. Gibson Krasminski got to first on a mishandled ball by Barrie first baseman Malik Williams. Frank Garces got a line drive back to the mound and back-to-back strikeouts. Krasminski stole second but could get no further. 2-0 the count to Joseph. Fouled it back to the screen.
Well, Starling Joseph, another guy who's been deadly against left-handed pitching in this 2024 season. In the regular season, .360 average against lefties.
Here's the pitch for Frank Garces. Yeah, it's a called strike, and it's 2-2. Garces to Joseph. Inside, and the count is full. Never like to assume anything in this game, but you do sort of get the sense maybe that we could be in for some low-scoring, good old-fashioned baseball between these clubs. 3-2 pitch coming up. And it's a little flare right into the glove of Malik Williams. One away. Let's give you the defense for Barrie. I believe we missed that in the top half of the first inning.
Well, let's give you the defense for the Baycats then. In the outfield from left to right, Nola Macabrota, Kenise Ejo, and Brad McQuinn. Meanwhile, in the infield, Adam Ott gets to start at third base, Brandon Hernandez at short, Roy Sando back at second base with Malik Williams at first, and Hayden Jaco is the battery mate for Frank Garces.
These teams had some low-scoring games and some high-scoring games this season. Baycats were on the winning end of a 4-0 shutout, but then lost 3-0 to this same London Majors ball club. And a couple of other games where the winning team scored 14 runs. So could go either way here. Hard to tell, but usually in the playoffs things tighten up a little bit. Two ball clubs that play very well. This one lined right into the glove of the shortstop, Brandon Hernandez.
Well, that 3-0 game was in London, and Frank Garces went a complete game in 8 innings, gave up 3 earned runs, had 5 strikeouts, but didn't have the run support behind him. Baycats got into scoring position quite often in that game, but just couldn't get anything around.
Veteran DH Cleveland Brownlee, one of a few guys still with this club from the 2021-2022 championship years in London. Asked manager Ruth Chanderdat before the game how much that's helped some of the younger guys who are experiencing their first IBL playoffs here in 2024, and he said it's huge, 100%. On the ground, a third foul.
Well, Brownlee's a guy with so much IBL experience, been with the majors since 2010, and I asked him pregame, he said that, every time he gets to the playoffs, it does kind of feel special, and, they did win the championship in 2021 and 2022, but even after that, you feel that little extra sense of, urgency, intensity that makes baseball feel that much more special.
No balls, 2 strikes to him here. The pitch, it's a high fly ball. Left center field, the shortstop going back as well, and it's going to drop. Fell into that Bermuda Triangle between Macabrota and Ejo, and Hernandez going back as well. None of them able to come out with it.
Yeah, it's just hit right into that no man's land in left center field. Nobody was able to get over to it. Just a seeing eye single from Brownlee.
So the first hit of the game, it comes off the bat of Brownlee, and a 2-out single for the number 8 hitter, Champ Garner. Garner hits it weakly foul. Back to the backstop. Pitch from Garces, and it's fouled over the screen, 0-2. The Baycats went 2-3 against London in their 5 regular season matchups. We mentioned the 4-0 win, the 3-0 loss. They won 14-4 here, lost 14-9 there, and then an 8-3 game that London won. So really no clear winner of the 2 games in Barrie, and then a slight edge to London, I guess, in the 3 games at that ballpark, but really couldn't come out with more even outcomes than you had over those 5 games.
We mentioned that the 4-0 loss, the 3-0 loss. Garces pitched in both of those games, but in that Barrie win, 4-0, Garces on the winning end of that one. 7 innings, just 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, and a great outing for him. That was his second win of the season.
0-2, and it's fouled.
But that 14-9 game at this ballpark, a London win, a comeback win for them. They scored 5 runs in the top of the 9th inning to take the lead over the Baycats and held on for, at the time, was a huge win for London.
No balls, 2 strikes. Garces kicks and delivers. Foul into the glove, strike 3. It's for IMP North, and that will get Garces and the Baycats off the field. They strand a runner through an inning and a half. Still no score. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV on YouTube.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Bottom of the second at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting. Design, supply, build, renovate. Servicing Simcoe Region for over a decade.
Final Thursday night game of the month of August. And it's the Baycats and the Majors kicking off round 2 of the 2024 IBL playoffs. This series will resume Sunday night. Game 2 is going to be in London, so a couple of off days for these teams leading into the long holiday weekend. That's never a bad thing. And then we will be back here for Game 3 on Monday night, which is an odd night for baseball here, but such is the case often during the playoffs with scheduling. I know everybody was furiously refreshing their phone this week to see what the schedule was going to be, and that was the determination. So
it's going to be a 6:05 start on Labor Day Monday.
Ryan Rio hits this to center field, base hit. Baycats get the leadoff man aboard.
Well, first hit of the game for Barrie, and who else? Ryan Rio to get the party started. This is the heart of the order. Macabrota coming up right behind him. And you know what he can do. The only home run for the Baycats in the first round of the series. Or first round of the playoffs, pardon me.
1 on, nobody out for Macabrota. Yeah, the Monday night game gives fans here in Barrie a chance to enjoy their long weekend, leave town, go to the cottage, do whatever you have planned, but get back here Monday for 6 o'clock so you can see that third game here at Vintage Throne Stadium.
And it's going to be a crucial game of the series because we were talking about the last half inning. There's no real deciding factor of home road splits. I mean, London won the head-to-head matchup in the season, but no defining trait between the two.
Called strike to Macabrota. He's behind 0-2.
So you can imagine that Game 2 Sunday night is going to be really close as well.
The 2 off days gives London a bit of a chance to regroup because they just finished their series against Hamilton. That went 4 games. Baycats have been rested since Sunday when they won their first round against Toronto here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Got a chance to clinch in front of their home fans for the first time in quite a while. 2021 was the last time they had a series clinching game here at this park. And here we are in round 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nolan Macabrota at the dish. The pitch on the way, fouled away.
And I think having the 2 days off in the middle of the series, it's a bit unusual, but these guys after tonight, they're going to go all out for Game 1. They're going to take advantage of those 2 rest days ahead of Game 3.
Well, a Friday night game in Barrie heading into a long weekend would not have been a good thing. I'm sure London would have enjoyed the extra day of rest, but nobody wants to be coming to Barrie everybody is on their way through here anyways to get to their cottage, but that is not a good travel day for people trying to get here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't imagine it's going to be fun for the Majors driving back to London southbound after Game 3 here on Monday.
I was thinking about that too. My thought is if the game's 2.5, 3 hours, it might be 9 o'clock or so, may not be quite as bad. Macabrota with a high fly ball, left center field. It'll hang up in the park, and the catch is made by Champ Gardner, 1 away. Rio returns to first. People like to leave so early on the last day of the holiday weekend. I mean, it's 1:30, 2 o'clock, and the 400 is just a parking lot all afternoon. So maybe that'll be the case, and the late evening traffic won't be quite as bad. But could be a long trip. You're right.
Well, typically when we have the night games at this ballpark, it's been 7:30 start like it was tonight. So that Monday might catch some people off guard.
Got a lot of Baycat fans here that make the trip up from Vaughan, as I do. Newmarket, Bradford. I mean, this is really a regional team. The fan base comes from all over. This one lined over the shortstop into left center field. Rio to second, so 2 on now for the Baycats.
Hard hit ball by Jaco, just got over the glove of Mosher at shortstop. He made a leaping attempt at it. A great start here in this second inning for Barrie, and bringing up Adam the guy in the 7th spot for Barrie. Dangerous part of the lineup, and we saw how dangerous the bottom 3 guys in the order were, especially in Game 3 against the Maple Leafs on Sunday.
So Travis Keys with his first jam of the ball game, 2 on, only 1 out. Dangerous hitter at the plate, and Adam Odd, he's definitely picked up his game here in the playoffs. First pitch swinging, it's to first. They're going to go to the shortstop for 1 at second. No relay to first base. So a good play by Caden Cardozo. who had the presence of mind to see Tyler Mosher covering the bag.
Second baseman number 7.
Well, if you're the Majors, you'll take that. Yes, you're still leaving yourself susceptible. Ryan Rio moving over to third base. But getting that lead runner, keeping away that extra man in scoring position might be huge for the Majors, especially now with 2 out.
Thought maybe he was going to step on the bag first and then make the throw to second, but that would eliminate the force, and of course the tag would have been necessary. He really wanted to get that lead runner, so decided to prioritize the throw. Let's see if that ends up being a good decision here.
Well, it seemed like he would have had time to do that if he'd stepped in the bag, then thrown over, but once you're committed to making that move, I think it's hard to stop and rethink your move. But good awareness there by Cardoso nonetheless.
He holds the runner on at first. It's a called strike now. It's quickly, no balls and 2 strikes to Royce Ando. Ando played in 2 of the 3 Toronto games and managed a .444 average. Solid 4 for 9 in the early postseason here for the Baycats. Pitch from Keys, swing and a miss. Ball picked up, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So that'll do it as the Baycats strand 2. And the Majors are coming to bat here on the top of the 3rd. When we return, you're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original 2 men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. 2 small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats! From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Here come the London Majors in the top of the 3rd inning. We're still scoreless. Baycats with 2 hits, London with 1. And the number 9 hitter, Tyler Mosher, will come to the plate to lead it off.
Shortstop, number 97, Tyler Mosher.
First pitch from Garces. Mosher taking all the way, and that pitch just missed. 1-0. One ball, 1 strike. Garces deals, and again, just missed. Kind of nibbling the edges of the plate. It's 2 balls and a strike here.
Mosher, a solid first-round series against the Cardinals, 4 for 10 with an RBI.
And it's fouled away by Mosher. Gibson Krasminski, the leadoff man, is on deck. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Frank Garces versus Tyler Mosher. And that misses low and away, and the count is 3-2.
Mosher 1 for 3 against Garces in the regular season. That was in that complete game loss that Garces had, a 3-0 Baycats loss.
popped up, and it is into the trees, out of play, so the count will hold here at 3-2. Good at bat by Tyler Mosher.
Seems to me that compared to the 2023 season, for Garces, he's been more okay with giving up some base hits here and there. Give up 79 total hits in the regular season. But he's been able to battle back well with runners on base.
And this one to left field. Catch is made by the left fielder, Nolan Macabrotto, one away. Goes back to the top of the order now for Gibson Krasminski.
Number 27, Gibson Krasminski.
Read a piece by Jack Moulton today, actually, of the London Free Press, and this definitely caught my attention and will be of interest to London Majors fans. A movie has been is going to be released, I guess, with scenes from Labatt Memorial Park in London. This one right back in front of the plate. Jaco picks it up, bare hands, throws. It's in time for the out, 2 away.
Nice play by Jaco. He had to be really cognizant of Krasminski coming out of the box, almost ran into him there, but had enough time to make a solid throw.
So the movie is called You Gotta Believe. You can check the trailer on YouTube. It looks like a really uplifting story. And again, it was filmed at Labatt Memorial Park in London, which is well known as the world's oldest continuously operating baseball grounds, I believe is the official title. And so a lot of history there. And they filmed this movie. And again, I don't know much about it, but I'm definitely interested in taking a look.
It's been a Little League team from Fort Worth, Texas, making its way to the Little League World Series in 2002.
Luke Wilson is in this film, as well as Greg Kinnear. So a couple of big name actors there that you might recognize. A pop-up. And it's over to the right fielder, and the catch is made. 3 quick outs for Frank Garces here in the top of the 3rd inning. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, scoreless. Baycats Majors on Rogers TV and Baycats TV YouTube.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Franz from Hern and Barrie Baycats Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
No score as we head to the bottom of the 3rd at Vintage Throne Stadium. Game 1 of the 2nd round. It's brought to you by Render 3D Quick, the #1 architectural 3D rendering company in Canada, working with thousands of builders, developers, architects, and more.
Brad McQuinn, the number 9 hitter, coming to bat against Travis Keys and the London Majors. We're talking in the top half of the inning about that movie, You Gotta Believe, which was filmed at Labatt Memorial Park. And apparently a lot of London residents got the opportunity to be extras in that movie as well. So if you're from London, you might see somebody you know in the crowd or in the background, or who knows.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's kind of cool. So not the first time a big Hollywood screen film has come from London either, from my understanding.
I'll tell you what, I watched the trailer, and it does, like, the scenes that they have in the trailer from Labatt Park look really, really good. Like, they did the ballpark up really nicely. The grounds were tended well.
McQuinn taking, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. I'm a sucker for a good baseball movie.
Of course.
Especially at a beautiful ballpark like Labatt Memorial Park. I can already picture in my mind what that's going to look like. I'm sure it's going to be a great film.
Like, some of the shots they used in the trailer of, like, some of the people in the movie, like, coming out of the dugout, because they're really dug out. Unlike at this ballpark, the clubhouses, you can go straight in from the dugout, as opposed to here where players have to go around the bleachers. But the shots
1-2
look
to
great.
McQuinn. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. McQuinn is down, 1 away here in the 3rd. You know, a baseball movie I saw just a couple months ago, and it's a movie that's like 20 years old now, I guess, but I saw it for the first time. Fever Pitch.
Oh, really?
With Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore, I think, right?
Yeah.
And I saw Fenway Park for the first time myself in person last summer, and now seeing the movie and seeing all the intimate shots that they got in the ballpark and the crowd and stuff was really, really cool.
And I think that came out in 2002, I think.
It came out when I think they started filming it right before the Red Sox broke the curse,
Right.
quote unquote. And then at the end of it, they had a scene of them in St. Louis celebrating Boston winning the World Series. So they won the World Series while the film was in production.
I remember how big of a deal that scene was, too.
It was pretty cool. Canisijo back to the top of the order. So that's definitely on my list of favorite baseball movies. You got a favorite baseball film?
I'm a sucker for Moneyball, but I think there's a lot more to the story of the 2002 A's that they left out of the film.
Yeah. A lot of players that didn't get mentioned.
But I love Major League.
Classic.
Classic. Angels in the Outfield's one I think doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah, cute story. Fun movie.
Danny Glover.
Yeah. For me, I just love the classics. Field of Dreams
Of course.
has to be at the top of the list, and I got to go to Dyersville, Iowa, and see Field of Dreams about 5 years ago. Rob Daniels, our public address announcer, worked at Field of Dreams.
Really?
Which is very cool. Actually lived there. Well, not there, but I don't know. He stayed with somebody while he worked there for a summer or something. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I wonder when Major League Baseball will bring that Field of Dreams game back potentially, because I know they're doing a bunch of renovations to the farmland or the ballpark area. I know Frank Thomas, baseball legends, one of the investors on that project, I believe.
Just missed outside. Great take by Canisijo. The count now 2-2.
The Rickwood Field game this year was really fun to see.
Yeah, these historic, nostalgic-themed games, you hope that they can find a way to kind of bottle that up and keep it going year after year. Obviously, the first time they do it is going to be the most special. Same with the Field of Dreams game with the White Sox there, and I think they played the Yankees, and it was a walk-off home run to win it. And it was just a magical night.
I will say that was one of the best baseball games I've ever watched. That just the way it all built up into that moment.
We were here that night. I actually had to listen to the end of that in my car. I was pretty excited, but... And the game at Rickwood as well. I mean, it'd be nice if they continued that. 3-2 pitch. Fouled away.
I think it's just about finding a unique way to do it every time, right? Like the Rickwood Field game was something that was different, hadn't been done before.
The passing of Willie Mays right before that game as well.
Yeah, that was the story.
Really, yeah.
The whole
made that
project
very
was made to be an honor, like a tribute to him. And it's too bad because he wouldn't have been able to attend anyway.
3-2 pitch. Another foul ball.
He's just doing a great job here of protecting the plate. Getting a lot of off-speed pitches here from Travis Keys.
These kids who brought baseball gloves are getting their opportunities tonight. Another full count. No score. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. London and Barrie. Game 1, round 2. Other series underway as we speak in Welland at Welland Stadium. It's the Guelph Royals and the Welland Jackfish. Keys to the belt. Looks in. Kicks. Delivers. Upstairs, ball 4. 1 on for the Baycats here in the 3rd.
It's a great plate appearance there from Canisijo. so patient, protected the plate so well. If you're Travis Keys, you got to watch out for his speed. That's Josh Matlow even before the first round series against the Maple Leafs. He says he plans on, his base runners becoming more aggressive in these playoffs compared to they were in the regular season. So watch out for Canisijo here.
He does not go on the first pitch. It's a called strike. It'll be hard to get a good lead here off the left-hander, Travis Keys.
He had 2 steals in the first round, wasn't caught.
Draws a throw.
Ijo caught onto that move right away. As soon as Keys moved his back foot initially, Ijo took a step back as well.
Here's the pitch from Keys, and it's a glancing foul off the bat. Brandon Hernandez count 0-2. A baseball movie that I saw, I had to look it up because the name escaped me, but it was with Dennis Quaid, and it was an outstanding story. It's called The Hill, biographical sports drama about an actual baseball player, Ricky Hill, who overcame a physical handicap in order to try out for a major league ball club.
Interesting.
And it's a true story, and it was really, really well done.
That's awesome. I'll check that out.
It's called The Hill, starring Dennis Quaid. It just came out last year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brandon Hernandez.
What's a baseball story that you'd like to see made into a movie that hasn't been yet?
Oh, boy. Wow, what a great question that is. A baseball, like a real piece of history. Let me think. You have an answer to that?
I'm not sure. I'd like to see, has there been a movie made about Jim Abbott yet?
That did come to my mind, actually. Funny you mentioned that. I don't think so, but that would definitely be a good story.
I think John Olerud's a good one because he had, a head injury in college, and that's why he wore the batting helmet out on the field every time he played first base, especially with his time with the Blue Jays.
A baseball story. I'm going to take it a different direction. David Wells.
Okay.
The life of David Wells. I don't know.
Definitely something to think about.
There's the throw, and stepping off and firing over was Keys. Ijo really dancing around out there. We've seen his antics at second base this year. He's really trying to get in the head of Travis Keys at first.
Well, it's so easy to get in his head. Keys looking right at him. Keep in mind, that's already been 2 disengagements.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. So Hernandez with a strikeout. Ijo up an extra base. First stolen base of the ball game for the Baycats. 2 outs in the inning now for Malik Williams.
Well, it's already 5 strikeouts for Travis Keys. A guy that has faced the Baycats 3 times this year already. So both sides very familiar with each other.
Gotta say, I really love that question. That'd be a good YouTube chat for our viewers tonight.
Absolutely.
Let's, put that in the conversation there. A real-life baseball story that you would like to see in a movie. There's an obvious answer. I just can't come up with it right now.
It does take quite a bit of thought, I will say.
Yeah, because oftentimes you'll watch a season unfold and you'll be like, boy, that you could write a movie about that. And I'm just trying to think of a really good one right now.
Well, there's always some things that you wouldn't expect to be great stories just kind of on the face, but you'll find them and they end up being such dramatic, or they incite a lot of emotion.
How about the failed comeback of Joey Votto?
Man, I have a take on that, but I can leave that for now.
2 balls, no strikes. Pitch to Williams, outside and low. Well, it was interesting that he retired right after the Cincinnati series at the Rogers Center. I don't know if that was just a coincidence, or maybe he was hoping that, that would be the series that he might get that chance that he dreamed of. I don't know.
Well, my theory is that if he thought that if he wasn't going to get called up for that series, that he wasn't going to get called up the rest of the year.
So he was looking at that, weeks in advance, and kind of that was the mark for him, perhaps.
Exactly.
Williams draws a walk.
Designated hitter number 27, Brian Rio.
Well, I heard Joey Votto on a podcast, and he said Devon White was one of his heroes as a kid. And I guess, is Devon White the manager of the Bisons, or is he...
I think he's on the Jays coaching staff, or at least he was for a little bit.
Anyways, he was next to Joey Votto in the dugout, and Votto looked at him and just basically said, "I'm done." And the manager, forgive me, I don't know who the manager of the Bisons is, but said to Votto, "Do you want this next at bat?" And Votto said no. And he just knew. There was that moment that came. He said it was the first time in his career that he didn't want to go up to the plate. He just felt like it wasn't in him. And that's how he knew that he was done as a player. So
I think he'll go into media.
Certainly entertaining. Great
He's got a great
storyteller.
personality.
Definitely does. Rio hits this one to short. And the throw to first, and plenty of time for the out. That'll do it. Baycats strand a couple of base runners. 3 innings in the books here in Barrie. Still 0-0. Majors and Baycats. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Yes, the London Majors coming to bat here on the top of the 4th inning. First game of the second round of the 2024 IBL playoffs, and we're glad to have you along with us tonight on the broadcast.
Back to the Majors, catcher number 36, Eduardo Deolio.
Eduardo Deolio is 0 for 1 tonight. He'll step up to face Frank Garces for the second time. Garces, in his second tenure with the Baycats, went 10-0 for them in the 2018 regular season and playoffs combined.
Yeah, that 2018 regular season, just absolutely legendary. 0.38 ERA in 7 starts, going 7-0.
And this one is lifted to center field. Kanisi Joe with a read on that. Takes it for the out. Really amazing when you think about it. That was 6 years ago. Frank's still pitching very competitively at this level. And that 10-0 in 2018 was 3 years after his big league tenure. Still just 34 years old.
Well, even after his major league tenure, he went and played in Nippon professional baseball for a couple of years as well. Just kind of that major league adjacent level in Japan.
Foul back. Caden Cardozo, a strikeout victim to end the first. Frank Garces with a quick pitch here, an abbreviated delivery. Didn't work as he misses low and away, 1-1.
Last time Cardoso saw Garces was August 9th at 3-0 Majors win at Labatt Park. went 2 for 4 with a home run. It was a big part of why London won that game.
Low target set by Hayden Jaco, and he gets the strike on that lower half of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Caden Cardozo. Chilly night here at the ballpark now after a very warm game time temperature of 21 degrees. Now some hoodies and jackets. The fans around the ballpark here. That pitch just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Cardoso with kind of those reverse splits, lefty against lefty here. He hit .432 against lefties in the regular season.
2-2 pitch. And the count is full. Great to see Brad Grieveson back in the Baycat dugout. He was away for a stretch coaching some youth baseball out in Quebec. Close eye on left-hander Frank Garces here with his 3-2 count, top of the 4th inning. Pitch to Cardozo. Swing and a miss. They make the throw to complete the out.
You don't often see Cardoso that far out in front of an off-speed pitch, but Frank Garces really fooled him.
Jaco wasn't sure if he needed to make that throw, I think, for a second or two. He's checking with the home plate umpire now just to see, but always a good idea to make that throw and complete the strikeout anyways with nobody on. And 2 outs in the inning now. The umpire's never going to tell you need to make the throw. You don't get any help defensively from them. They will tell you the call after it happens. But their job isn't to tell you what to do. You got to figure that out on your own.
Well, it never hurts. Just throw it down anyway.
Starling Joseph now. And he's got a 2-0 count. Garces delivers, fouled away.
We don't often see Frank Garces fall behind in counts just like this. Usually he's throwing a first pitch strike right around 70-71% of the time.
He's retired 6 in a row and 10 of his last 11. 2-1 pitch. Little check swing. Jammed him on the inside part of the bat. And it's foul ball for a strike, 2-2.
They placed that pitch so well. Hard for Joseph to lay off, and even with him attempting to swing at it, really jammed him inside.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. No score here on the top of the 4th inning. Frank Garces trying to finish off the 4th. Joseph waggles the bat. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. A Baycat strikeout for IMP North. That's the 5th. Free French fries for these fans here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Early here in the ball game. 3 up, 3 down go the Majors. We go to the bottom of the 4th. No score. Baycats and Majors.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Inning number 4 at Vintage Throne Stadium. Still no score between the Majors and Baycats. And it's brought to you by Clarkson Bins and Junk Removal, the local source for simple, clean, and reliable disposal bin rental and junk removal services.
Majors manager Rube Chanderdat told me before the game that he believes the team that makes the fewest mistakes will win this series. That's how well balanced these two clubs are. And he was specific to point out not necessarily errors, but mistakes, because a lot of mistakes don't count as errors. As Nolan Macabrona hits a roller to center field for a base hit. So mental miscues and things like that, all of that taken into account, you're not going to see a lot of those from either of these ball clubs. Two very good defensive teams on the field.
Well, keep in mind, a great example of a mistake that he might be talking about, Brandon Hernandez in that first inning, getting doubled up on first base from that line drive to left or to right field.
Yeah, base running mistakes too.
And you always know that, the look at base running gets magnified in the playoffs when it means that extra bit more. The base runners are more aggressive.
Two well-coached teams and two well-managed teams. Rube Chanderdat and Josh Matlow. They understand baseball inside and out and have players on the field that perform at a high level. And sometimes it only takes one of those mistakes. Not even necessarily an error, but just a mental lapse or miscue that can dictate the outcome of the ball game. A high fly ball to center field. It'll stay in the park, and the catch is made by the center fielder, Champ Garner. So back to first is Macabrona, one away.
Well, we mentioned both managers, Rube Chanderdat and Josh Matlow. That man right there, Hayden Jaco, one of only two players in this series with experience playing under both. The other, of course, being Victor Plaz, third baseman for the Majors with the Baycats last year. But Hayden Jaco, a key member of that 2021 Majors championship team.
Anamad reached on a fielder's choice in the second, and back head first is Nolan Macabrona on a close play on that throw by Travis Keys.
That was really close for Macabrona. Luckily for him, he slid towards the back of the bag. That could have been the difference between being out and staying at first base.
Here's the pitch, and it's driven to center field. Over to his right as Garner takes it for the catch, 2 away.
Second baseman.
I had about a 3 or 4 minute visit with Josh Matlow of the Baycats and Rube Chanderdat of the Majors before game 1 of this playoff series. And if you want to see those interviews, we've got them on the social media channels for you. The Barrie Baycats for the Josh Matlow interview. If you want to watch the London interview with Rube Chanderdat, I did tag the Majors. Not sure if they posted it or not, but you can see it on my page. I'm Ben Davy. Feel free to head over there if you want to see my chat with Rube prior to the game, and they got him! A great throw by Travis Keys to nab Nolan Macabrona, and the tag applied by Caden Cardozo for the out. There's one of those mistakes that we were talking about, and the Baycats squander an opportunity in the 4th inning. To the 5th, scoreless, Baycats Majors on Rogers TV and Baycats TV YouTube.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original 2 men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. 2 small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats! From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Top of the fifth inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. This is Game 1, the IBL semifinal series between the Barrie Baycats and London Majors. Julius Hern along with Ben Davy, our entire Baycats TV crew here with you at Vintage Throne Stadium. Leading off for the Majors is Byron Reitstein, the right fielder. It'll be Cleveland Brownlee and Champ Garner behind him against Frank Garces. Ground ball, nice bounding play by Malik Williams. Takes to the bag himself for a quick first out of this fifth inning.
Designated hitter number 35, Cleveland Brownlee.
And that'll bring up Cleveland Brownlee. Singled his first time up. Like I mentioned earlier, IBL veteran. Played with the Majors since 2010. Coming out of Atlanta, Georgia, told me that big reason he stuck around in London all these years was Roop Chanderdat, giving him an opportunity to play right away, and he's just loved his time in London. The city, he says, has accepted him as one of their own. There's a fly ball to left field. Coming in is Macabrota, and he will make the catch. 2 down. Macabrota told me at the end of the regular season, knowing he was going to have to play a lot of left field in these playoffs, that he was going to need a lot of time out there ahead of these big games, and he's made the most of it. Played pretty well defensively out there. But 2 quick outs for Frank Garces bring up Champ Garner for London. First pitch to Garner, catches the outside corner for strike 1. Garner a solid .267 average in the regular season. Behind that fastball from Garces, it's 0-2. Fans backing Garces again. Got him, strike 3. IMP North strikeout to end the top of the fifth inning. We'll head to the bottom half. Still no score between the Baycats and the London Majors. You're watching the IBL playoffs on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Fans from Hern and Barrie Baycats Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Ben Davy and Julius Hern here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Baycats coming to bat. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning. It's brought to you by Phaetrum, aluminum and siding, quality above all else.
So after coming up to the plate in the bottom of the fourth inning and being sat down after the pickoff of Nolan Macabrota, Roy Sando back up again to lead off here in the fifth. And sees a first pitch. Breaking ball strike from Travis Keys, who just let go of pitch number 51. He has been cruising through the Baycats lineup through the first 4 innings.
50 pitches for Keys through 4. That was the 51st, as you mentioned. 62 for Frank Garces tonight.
A looper out foul towards the Baycats bullpen.
Got a feeling we're setting the stage here for some real old school baseball in this series. Low scoring games, good pitching, strong defense. A couple base running errors miscues by the Baycats so far tonight. Certainly not a series where you're going to want to squander offensive opportunities.
0-2 from Keys, just outside. Great take there from Roy Sando. And Ando, a guy where strikeouts have been a bit of an issue for him this year in limited game action. All but one game that he's appeared in this year, including the playoffs, he's had at least 1 K on the score sheet. Here's a 1-2 from Keys. Caught on and missed. Second strikeout of the day for Ando, 1 down for London.
Well, Ando chasing one down and away out of the zone. Great pitch mix by Travis Keys.
Well, Ben, you mentioned how important old school baseball is going to be in this series. And if this low scoring action keeps up, expect to see a lot of small ball late in games. Just something Barrie might have to work on, especially with those base running miscues like you mentioned earlier in this game. Brad McQuinn shows bunt right on cue. Fouls it off.
Well, Nolan Macabrota picked off. He got on, was the leadoff man in the 4th. The other miscue was a double play. Brandon Hernandez off with a pitch and was unable to get back on a fly ball off the bat of Malik Williams. Not to say that those runs would have scored later on in the inning, but you never know.
Victor Plaz still playing shallow at third. McQuinn swings through it and fouls it off again.
This series continues on Sunday in London. Dylan Baker, Noah Smith, and our friends over at Labatt Memorial Park will have that broadcast for us on the London Majors YouTube channel, 6:05 Sunday night. So be sure to catch that on Majors TV on YouTube. We'll be here Game 3 Monday at 6:05.
Foul tip into the glove. Back-to-back strikeouts for Travis Keys to start the 5th inning.
Oh, he's retired 4 in a row now. And back to the top of the order. What a contrast between this game and games 1 and 3 of this series against Toronto, where the Baycats were putting up nothing but crooked numbers pretty much the entire ball game. I think Game 3, Barrie scored runs in every inning except the first.
Yes, that's correct.
Just kept their foot on the gas. Much different looking ball game here tonight against the London Majors and Travis Keys.
Well, if you want to go further to that, as Ejo sees a first pitch, drives it to center field, back onto Champ Garner, settles under it, and makes a catch. 3 up, 3 down, go the Baycats in back-to-back innings. We'll head to the 6th inning of play. Still no score. You're watching the IBL playoffs on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Top of the 6th inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. No score between the London Majors and Barrie Baycats. Game 1 of the IBL semifinals between these two clubs. Ongoing right now, the other series on the other side of the bracket, the Welland Jackfish and Guelph Royals in their first game of the series.
It'll be interesting to see how that series goes, Welland and Guelph. This one definitely starting off as a pitcher's duel between Frank Garces and Travis Keys. Garces has retired 10 in a row, 15 of 16. Only 2 base runners so far for London.
Garces is holding the majors to just 1 hit so far through the first 5 innings. This is Tyler Mosher, the number 9 hitter.
Yeah, that hit came in the second, and an error led off the game. That was the other base runner for London.
It's down 2-1 to Mosher here.
Very, very seldom are you going to get a big inning off Frank Garces. If he does give up some hits, usually they're scattered across 9 innings.
2-1. Fouled off close to the Majors dugout. A line shot from off the bat of Mosher. It's 2-2.
Yeah, the dugouts here in Barrie are below ground level, but everybody likes to come up on that top step behind the railing, and a lot of heads ducking out of the way of that foul ball.
And also keep in mind there's no screen or fence in between those padded railings, so the ball goes through there. It's not stopping anything. Big cut and a miss from Tyler Mosher. IMP North strikeout for Frank Garces to start the 6th.
7 Ks. He is mowing them down here tonight. Back to the top of the order to Gibson Krasminski, who is not having the playoffs so far that he envisioned. Reached on an error, but stole a base, couldn't get any farther than second in the first inning. Struggled in the Hamilton series as well. 0 for 2 here tonight.
First pitch to Krasminski in there for strike 1. The last time Garces faced the Majors, keep bringing out that August 9th game at Labatt Park. Garces went 8 innings, took the loss in a 3-0 Baycats loss. Another called strike against Krasminski. Garces had just 5 strikeouts through those 8 innings. He's already cleared that total tonight. 0-2 from Garces. Cut on and missed. Yet another IMP North strikeout. Frank Garces is on a roll.
And keeping them guessing at the plate. You saw the full wind-up and delivery there on that 3rd strike. The pitch before that, more of a quick pitch with an abbreviated wind-up, and Krasminski was way back on his heels on the 2nd pitch of that at bat.
So that'll bring up Victor Plaz, another player in the Majors, all that familiar with Frank Garces, teammates last year in Barrie. First pitch bounces into Hayden Jaco.
Plaz has played well against his former team, especially in this ballpark.
He waves at that outside pitch. It's 1-1. Well, the first game Plaz had against his former team this year was in London. He went 0 for 4 in that game, but the first game back here at Vintage Throne Stadium was incredible on his part. 4 for 5 with a double and a home run. Big wave and a miss there from Plaz, and that home run was kind of the catalyst to the London comeback late in that game. Majors winning that one by a score of 14-9.
Well, Jaco's been setting a low target here on Victor Plaz, and he just swung right over top of that. Looked like a slider on that last pitch. Let's see if he goes back to it here on the 1-2.
1-2 from Garces, fouled off. Protection there from Victor Plaz.
Yeah, it looked like the fastball, and he was just a little bit behind it, fouling it off.
One thing about these fans at the ballpark, they know when a strikeout might be coming. Getting into it for the ace, Frank Garces. 1-2 again. On the ground to first, backhanded by Williams. He takes to the bag himself for out number 3. Frank Garces, yet another 3-up, 3-down inning. That's 3 straight as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. You're watching the IBL playoffs on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Bottom of the sixth already here at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's brought to you by Moving.ca. Two small men with big hearts moving, making moving stress-free for over 35 years. Here's Julius with the call.
Thanks, Ben. It's really been a quick ball game, at least so far. Last 2.5 innings, just 44 pitches total between both Travis Keys and Frank Garces. Brendan Hernandez to lead off the sixth for Barrie. First pitch from Keys is floated out to left field. It will get down for a base hit. Great start to the sixth inning for Barrie. Brandon Hernandez with a leadoff single.
First baseman number 29, Malik Williams.
I'll bring up Malik Williams. And Ben, this is something you and I both noticed in the last break. Malik Williams making that unassisted play to end the top half of the sixth inning, but came dangerously close to not even getting that out call.
I'm actually pulling it up on my phone right now to take a look at it, because it is odd that both you and I commented on that, and it looked like it was very, very close, dangerously close, that he threw the ball out of his hand before stepping on the bag at first base. Nobody said anything, nobody reacted in any unusual way, so we didn't address it at the time, but off air, you and I both noticed that we had seen how close that was.
Well, he drives that one out to right field. Going back is Reichstein, and it's gone! Malik Williams with an opposite field bomb, and the Baycats get on the board first.
Well, any questionable issues defensively for Malik Williams at first base tonight are quickly forgiven after that two-run home run over the right field fence to get the Baycats on the board, and that's exactly what they needed, a quick start against Travis Keys to get a couple here going and hopefully build some momentum.
Well, going opposite field with power has been the bread and butter for Malik Williams this year. His only home run in the regular season was one that just scraped by that right field foul pole, and he'd gone there earlier this evening as Ryan Rio gets right back at it offensively, following up the home run with a base hit of his own.
Keys getting into a really dangerous part of this order here with Hernandez, Williams, Rio, and Macabroda. Those four can do a lot of damage against a pitcher in a hurry. And the Baycats striking here in this bottom of the sixth inning.
But even earlier this evening, Williams with that line drive that ended up becoming a double play with that base running blunder by Hernandez. That was a hard hit ball that Reichstein really made a nice running catch on. Here comes Noah Macabroda. Had a hit earlier this evening. Was stranded on second base. He sees that one low. You can tell the energy come alive in this ballpark after that home run from Williams.
Fans were actually doing the wave here in this park between innings. And that's the interesting thing here in Barrie. When they do the wave, it's always between innings. It's never during the game. They're very respectful to whoever's on the field, I think.
Well, it just seems like much more of a buzz than there was maybe 5-10 minutes ago. Baycats threatening here again. Macabroda up with one out. He sees another pitch low, 2-1. Ryan Rio at first base being very wary of his lead with the lefty keys up. That one just catches the outside part of the zone, 2-2.
Well, I can conclusively say Malik Williams threw that ball before stepping on the bag. I have video evidence. I just pulled it up on my phone.
Wow.
And yeah, that would have been a base runner for the Majors with 2 outs.
Macabroda bounding ball to second base. Tough play here. But on to first for out number 1. Ryan Rio moves over to second base. Nice play there by Gibson Krasinski.
Number 55, Hayden Jacob.
Well, it's too bad that we can't show this to our viewers at home, but if you go back and watch it and you screenshot it, you can see Malik Williams has clearly thrown that ball back to the pitcher's mound before stepping on the bag.
Very interesting, because I remember seeing that happen and intently watching first base umpire Jeff Rose make that out call.
Well, it's right in front of the first base coach for the Majors and the umpire and the base runner, of course. And nobody seemed to make any argument about it at all.
Very interesting indeed.
But Victor Plaz, who was that? That was Plaz, I guess, was the, Victor Plaz to end the top of the 6th inning. Should have been safe on that.
Hayden Jaco sees that one low. Nice pick from Eduardo DeOlio. It's 1-1. Ryan Rio on second base. Adam Ott on deck. One from Keys. Just low. DeOlio tried to frame that one up. Doesn't get the call. Jaco hit .308 this regular season with runners in scoring position. 20 RBI in that situation. And he fouls that one off.
Defensive swing by Jaco. Count 2-2. Big inning here for Barrie. They want to add to this 2-0 lead. Runner in scoring position here with one away.
Well, even with that home run from Williams, Ryan Rio strung it together with a base hit of his own. Baycats still threatening here with just one out. 2-2 from Keys. Great take there from Hayden Jaco as it falls in low. Full count.
Jaco saw some pitching duties in Game 3 of this series. A lopsided score in favor of the Baycats, and Josh Matlow just needed to get through those late innings.
The appeal down to umpire Jeff Rose is no swing. Hayden Jaco works a walk. The thing with Hayden Jaco is you can probably expect to see him on the mound more throughout the rest of the playoffs. Baycats very limited, not only in the bullpen, but on the bench as well. Hayden Jaco, very much a pitcher, just doesn't get as much time on the mound as he maybe used to see. Maybe even with his time in London, his time in college, he saw a lot of time on the mound as well, more of a two-way player back then. But he's going to be a key part of this Baycats roster as they work towards an IBL championship run.
Yeah, showed us a pretty good fastball in his relief appearance here in Game 3. And the only 3 Baycat relievers that saw action was Carlos Sano, who has turned into a 2-inning save closer, who had pitched in Game 2. Really wasn't available for Game 3 of the series. And Christian Lazar, who's given them some innings out of the bullpen this season, just coming back from surgery in the offseason. And Ryan Lacasse, who has been shaky on the mound in his last couple of appearances, so no real reliable arm available out there in middle relief to really eat up those innings if necessary. Josh Matlow really relying on those 3 ace starting pitchers to get him through the 7th inning.
Well, the Majors used their first mound visit to talk to Travis Keys. Still 1 out here in the 6th. 2 on behind him. Adam Odd. A big cut through that first pitch.
Came right at him with a fastball, and Odd couldn't catch up to it.
Well, we've seen over since that home run from Williams, the bullpen arms available for the Majors up in the bullpen, but nobody throwing as of right now. Popped up on the infield. Moving over there is Cardoso, calling everyone off. He will make the catch. Having to reach over to grab that one, but 2 down for London here.
Absolutely love what Travis Keys did in that situation. Got out of the way. Just started making his way towards the third base side. Let his infielders deal with it. That's plenty high enough for 2 or 3 guys to come over and decide who's going to catch that ball. It ends up being Caden Cardoso.
We'll remember seeing that be an issue in the last home game we saw here. Juan Benitez, maybe some miscommunication between him and Malik Williams earlier in that game.
Yeah, the Baycats have had confusion on infield pop-ups recently.
First pitch to Roy Sandoz, a called strike.
I always say I never want to see a pitcher in that position where there's some question as far as whether or not he's going to make that catch or not. If there's time for him to get out of the way, he should.
Big swing from Roy Sando on that low and away pitch. It's 0-2. Ando, twice a strikeout victim earlier in this game against Keys. Had 2 strikeouts in the series against the Maple Leafs. It's important for him to have an eye here. Big opportunity with 2 on in front of him.
And yet he's hit very well when he is hitting.
He cuts through that one as well. Another strike 3 for Roy Sando as we head to the 7th inning, but the Baycats get on the board. Malik Williams with a big bomb out to right field. 2-0 Baycats as we head to the 7th. You're watching the IBL playoffs on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from Hern and Barrie Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original 2 men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. 2 small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
The 7th inning of play is presented by Psycho Solutions. Full automotive service from headlight to tailpipe.
Yeah, we're back at Vintage Throne Stadium for the top of the 7th inning between the Baycats and the Majors. Barrie on top now by a score of 2-0 on the strength of a 2-run homer by Malik Williams. Eduardo Deolio will lead it off here for London against left-hander Frank Garces. No surprise, Josh Matlow will get his 7 innings, at least out of his starter here tonight, by the looks of things. And a first pitch strike.
We mentioned the success that Deolio's had, at least in the regular season against left-handed pitching, hit 400 against lefties, but 0 for 2 tonight against Garces.
Hit hard and deep to right field, and that ball is going to land off the wall, picked up by the right fielder, fired in. It's a stand-up double. And the Majors get a base runner here to lead off the 7th inning. Brad McQuinn had a long way to go, just couldn't catch up to it.
34,
Well, very similar swing to what we saw from Malik Williams in that home run, just opposite field with power. But that one just falling just short of a home run, landing on the warning track and skipping off the wall.
First really hard hit ball we've seen off Frank Garces tonight. He had retired 18 of 19, 13 in a row. That streak snapped off the bat of Eduardo De Olio. Now Caden Cardozo representing the tying run.
Well, not only that, just the second base hit tonight off of Frank Garces. The other one earlier in the game in the second by Cleveland Brownlee.
Here's the pitch, and it's up the middle. Past the glove of Brandon Hernandez into center field. They're going to put the stop sign up at the last minute to hold up Eduardo De Olio at third. It looked like they wanted to send him, but that ball didn't go far enough. Quickly fired back in, and now 2 on for the Majors. Their best scoring chance of the night right here.
Well, De Olio had to kind of hesitate at second base to make sure that Hernandez didn't come up with that catch there. And even then, De Olio not the fastest base runner, and we've seen what Kenise Ejo can do with his arm this year. He's had a few outfield assists. So best decision there for the Majors to keep De Olio safely at third base.
Be interesting to see if they send Cardozo here to force a throw down to second base. Nobody out, does not go. First pitch, swing and a miss. Starling Joseph whiffs on the fastball.
Cardozo had 2 steals in the first round series against the Cardinals. 15 in the regular season.
2-0 Baycats. We're in the 7th. Garces with the pitch, and it's hit foul. Cardozo was scampering back to first. I think he thought Garces was going to fire a throw over there.
We'll also keep in mind Cardozo hasn't been caught stealing yet this year in 17 attempts.
It would certainly make sense to send him in this situation. Although with 2 strikes now, you don't want to strike him out, throw him out, double play. Let's see what happens. Does not go. Pitch is high, and the way Joseph sort of flinched, maybe a little inside as well in the mind of home plate umpire Sean Schaefer.
Well, he offered at it, but was just able to hold up on the swing. Great location on that pitch from Garces.
Now 1-2. Pitch from Garces, fouled back. Great at bat here by Starling Joseph. After falling behind 0-2, trying to get a pitch he likes.
Joseph, 40 strikeouts to just 14 walks in the regular season.
Called strike 3. A strikeout for IMP North and a big one for Frank Garces.
The right fielder, number 22.
Perfect situation for Garces to pick up the K there. Now you're just 1 pitch away from possibly getting a double play and getting out of this jam.
Nine strikeouts for Frank Garces tonight. He had 10 in game 1 of the series opener against the Toronto Maple Leafs here a week ago. And this one to short, to second for 1, to first. Not in time. The run scores. A bouncer on the throw into the glove of Malik Williams proves costly as Eduardo De Olio scores the first run of the game for the Majors.
Malik Williams, great play, him being able to pick that ball, made that double play a possibility, but the throw being in the dirt gave Reichstein just that extra half step or so to keep this inning alive and get that first run on the board for London.
So Caden Cardozo eliminated at 6-4 on the relay from Brandon Hernandez to Roy Sando. Byron Reichstein aboard on a fielder's choice. 1 on for the Majors with 2 out. They trail by a run. Cleveland Brownlee with a pitch. Swing and a miss. Crowley, the veteran, like Baycat catcher Tyler Plumpton, doesn't wear batting gloves. Straight up skin on wood.
Well, he's found success with it, that's for sure.
Pitch misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Had that hit off of Garces in the second inning. That was just his second hit of the playoffs this year. Went 1 for 8 with a double in that first round series against the Cardinals.
Popped up, should be playable for Malik Williams in front of the Barrie dugout. Makes the catch. So the Majors get on the board, but they strand a runner. It's 7th inning stretch time here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Barrie up 2-1. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Coming out of the 7th inning stretch at Vintage Throne Stadium, the Baycats lead the Majors 2-1 in this first game of the IBL semifinals. It's brought to you by Psycho Solutions, full automotive service from headlights to tailpipe.
So Frank Garces and the Baycats touched for a run in the top of the 7th, and now Kyle Maves here to lead it off. Or Brad McQuinn, excuse me. Maves to hit for McQuinn. And McQuinn's spot. Then back to the top of the order for Canisijo and Brandon Hernandez.
Well, Maves was initially slated to be in the starting lineup for this game, but Brad McQuinn put in that 9 spot in favor of him. Still getting some time in that spot as Maves anyway.
First pitch, a called strike to Maves.
Well, and that could be why. He showed bunt a little bit there on that first pitch. Victor Plaz charging in at third base. You see he's still playing on that lip of the infield grass.
Travis Keys has pitched very well tonight. After a loss against the Hamilton Cardinals in the opening round where he allowed 6 earned runs in 5 innings of work, has been brilliant here tonight, holding the Baycats to just 2, and is back out here to work at the bottom of the 7th inning. Maves stays alive with a foul ball. 1-2.
7 strikeouts through the first 6 innings for Travis Keys. Getting himself back into that groove, an important spot for London. As much as both teams will have 2 days rest after this, the more you can save your bullpen in general, the better.
It's a ground ball to short. The throw over from Tyler Mosher is in time for the out.
The center fielder, number 9, Ken.
So Maves is retired. Here's leadoff man Canisijo. He has reached base once tonight. Canisijo with an outstanding regular season campaign through 42 games, 363 average, 5 homers, 28 RBIs. Really tapping into some power at the plate this season, adding that to his offensive attack. First pitch swinging fouled away.
Alijo got on with a walk in the third inning. Stole second base, but was stranded there. It was the first real jam that Keys got himself into in this game, but he's handled everything nicely.
That one handled by the shortstop. Mosher, long throw. In time, a great stretch by the first baseman, Caden Cardozo. Keeping his foot on the bag. 2 outs for the Baycats.
Very impressive there from Mosher. He was having to field that ball very deep at shortstop, and with the speedy Ejo, that play definitely wasn't easy. Great throw.
A lot of similarities between these clubs when you look at how the season unfolded for both of them. Strong start, no long streaks either way. London only had 2 streaks where they lost 3 in a row, and both teams ended well. London won 4 of their last 5 heading into the first round of the playoffs. Majors in a quest for their 15th Inter-County Baseball League championship, dating back to their founding year in 1925. On the ground, Weekly, first baseman, mishandles it, recovers, makes the throw, not in time! The speedy Brandon Hernandez beats it out. Nice recovery by Cardozo. Keys covering. They couldn't beat the speed of Hernandez.
Definitely a bang-bang play over there at first base. Brandon Hernandez hustling down, maybe some miscommunication with London Majors defense on that right side. Nonetheless, keeps the inning alive for Barrie for this man, Malik Williams, who as of this moment is the difference in this ballgame.
A 2-run homer after Brandon Hernandez singled to lead off the 6th inning. Baycats looking for some insurance. Up by a run here over London in the 7th. First pitch misses, low and away.
Well, another thing that makes this series, this matchup so great is both of these teams tied with the most wins in 1-run ball games this year. The Baycats won 8-3 in 1-run games, the Majors 8-5.
Called strike on the outside corner to Malik Williams, 1-1.
It's definitely looking like we could be in that same scenario tonight with Barrie up by just 1.
Keys. Looking at the runner, kicks, delivers. On the ground to short. Busy inning for Mosher. Plants himself, makes the throw. It's a good one, and it's in time for the out. So 3 6-3 putouts from Tyler Mosher, and the single by Brandon Hernandez is stranded. So we go to the 8th inning. Barrie leading 2-1 over the London Majors here in Game 1. We're watching Rogers TV and Baycats TV on YouTube.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats! From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Top of the 8th inning, London Majors, Barrie Baycats, and it's 2-1 Barrie. Frank Garces back out. He had retired 18 of 19 at one point. The Majors got to him, scratching out a run in the top of the 7th inning. Double by Eduardo De Olio, a single by Caden Cardozo to bring in their only run. That one fouled off right over the head of Rob Daniels. It landed on the overhang right above his head. Now that one, if he had reached, he could have caught.
That was by far the closest we've had to one entering the press box up here. That one just
never come that close to a foul ball again. Yeah, I've never seen a foul ball come that close to the PA
just
announcer.
Skim the top of the awning.
Ballpark. Yeah, that overhang, if that wasn't there, if that overhang wasn't there, Rob could have took that one right in the breadbasket. That one fouled away into the trees. It's 0-2. Champ Garner 0 for 2 against Frank Garces tonight. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled again.
I'll tell you what, if it was on that foul ball, he showed bunt. I don't think you're ever going to get that if he does a full swing. It's just the way the ball spun off that bat.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's that, and that's probably why we don't have many foul balls directly back like that. It wasn't a normal swing.
It's just the perfect trajectory for it looked like.
Swing and a miss. Picked up by Jaco. Makes the throw in time for the out. Another double-digit strikeout total for Frank Garces. Give him 2 here in the 2024 playoffs. Brought to you by IMP North, and there's 1 out in the inning.
It's been a great game for Frank Garces, trying to match his total or season best total against the majors, which was that 8-inning game back in earlier in this month.
Struck out 10 Toronto Maple Leafs in game 1 of this series here on Thursday night. Had a little bit of a safer lead to work with that night, though. Less margin for error here this evening. That is for sure.
Well, he's within reach of his IBL career high, which is 12. He's done that 3 different times, most recently in game 1 of the finals last year. Put up 12 strikeouts in a complete game win.
A right-hander throwing in the Baycat bullpen, but Frank Garces taking care of business right now on his own. No balls, 2 strikes.
Brendan Hillier warming up.
Hillier has not pitched in the 2024 playoffs so far.
I wonder if Garces keeps rolling like he has been, especially with this just 1-run lead. Josh Matlow keeps him out there for another inning after this.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouled off. Well, the hope, I think, was for Carlos Sano to kind of become the 2-inning save guy through the playoffs here. But the way Frank Garces is going, you might get an 8th inning out of him and then have Sano come in for just the 9th. His second inning, Sano's, was definitely shakier than his first inning of work in Toronto. This one to second base. Roy Sando handles it cleanly. The throw is in time for the out. 2 down. The sure-handed Roy Sando at second base, making that one look easy. And here's Gibson Krasminski.
You mentioned that game 2 in Toronto in the first round. Josh Matlow mentioned to me that might have been one of the most intense baseball games they've been a part of. That and the game earlier this year in Welland where the Baycats just snuck out with a 6-5 win. They're were really tight for bench players. That was a game where Noel McGarry-Doyle had his season-ending injury. I think those 2 games you might look at as possibly season-defining games.
On the ground to short. Brandon Hernandez running throw in time for the out. Another 3-up, 3-down inning as Frank Garces and the Baycats get off the field in the top of the 8th. Baycats coming to bat when we return, leading by a run. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Chance for the Baycats to get some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Ryan Rio, fan favorite here at Vintage Throne Stadium, will lead it off for Barrie in the bottom of the 8th inning with the Baycats up by a run. And he will face left-hander Travis Keys, who has been outstanding tonight, as well as Frank Garces has pitched. Keys has done a pretty good job matching him. His pitch count actually lower than Frank's. 89 pitches coming into the inning, and Ryan Rio hits this one deep, and it's over the head of the left fielder, Starling Joseph. He's over to pick it up. That's a double for Ryan Rio. So how about that to start the bottom of the 8th?
Another great example of pro-level hitting from Ryan Rio, the opposite field with power. Starling Joseph had a great opportunity to make a catch on that, but just sailing over his head and out of his reach. For the Baycats, getting insurance in this inning will be huge, as James Anderson will come on to pinch run for Rio.
Lots of bodies down in the London bullpen right now. A right-hander throwing in a hurry. And here comes the manager of the London Majors, Roop Chanderdat. Will he ask for the baseball? Let's see. Roop, there he is. We had a great chat with Roop before the game. He's certainly gotten as much as he possibly could from Travis Keys tonight. Everybody in on this conversation here, and the umpire now is going to come out and break it up.
Pitch running for the Baycats at second base, number 34, James Anderson.
James Anderson comes in to run for Ryan Rio.
I believe that's Tyler Gillies throwing in the Majors bullpen. No, it's not.
Thought the umpire, Sean Schaefer, was going to break it up, but he let the manager say as much as he needed to. And he's going to leave Travis Keys out here to face Nolan Macabrota, the dangerous left-handed rookie.
Skylar Janice throwing in the Majors bullpen, the right-hander. So he would be the one to relieve Keys should this one get further out of hand. The infield defense on the corners playing in for London.
Baycats up by a run. Macabrota to face Keys. And they check Anderson. He's back. Keys threw 89 pitches through 7 innings. I was hoping it would be 88 Keys because the piano has 88 keys. Alas, that was not the case. So he's into the low 90s now for the pitch total, and that's a good reason why Roop Chanderdat, I'm sure, is leaving him in there, hoping to get out of this bottom of the 8th inning. Anderson dancing around. Here's the pitch. Hit weakly to second base. The throw to first is low. It bounces up and past Caden Cardoso. Here comes Anderson. He scores! 3-1 Baycats. Macabrota in a second.
Catcher number 55.
Still nobody out in the inning.
Jaco.
Well, Roop Chanderdat's out just outside the dugout. I wonder if he decides to make a move right here.
So instead of the bases being empty, or there would have been a runner at third, I guess, with one out. Now we got a runner at second and nobody out. Anderson scoring an important run for the Baycats. It gives them back their 2-run lead.
Well, I was just about to say, had that been an out, it still would have been a productive at-bat for Macabrota, moving Anderson over to third. But even better for the Baycats, getting that extra run on the board. And you still have someone in scoring position.
Just a bad throw, a low throw, and it was a bouncer that missed the glove of Cardozo. No balls, 2 strikes. Pitch to Jaco. And it's low and inside, 1-2. 3 runs, 8 hits for the Baycats tonight. A run on 3 hits for the London Majors.
Krasminski usually sure-handed at second base, just 5 errors in the regular season. And none so far into the playoffs until this inning.
Adam Odd is on deck. Baycats looking for all the insurance they can get before facing London in the top of the ninth. The question is, will it be Frank Garces or closer Carlos Sano? Stay tuned for that. Pitch. It's a shallow fly ball. It'll be back on the outfield grass. The catch made by Gibson Krasminski. Runner holds at second. 1 out.
Well, Brandon Hilliard no longer throwing in that Barrie bullpen. Just Carlos Sano still throwing. But definitely something to watch, whether or not Josh Matlow will keep his ace on the mound for the ninth or he'll go to the bullpen. That insurance run for Barrie will play a key piece into that decision.
Adam Ott is 0 for 3 tonight. First pitch swinging, and he hits a base hit to center field. They're going to send the runner. This is Nolan Macabrota, and he's in without a throw. 4-1 Baycats.
Second baseman number 7.
Just a perfectly placed ground ball from Adam Odd. It didn't roll that far into center field either, giving Macabrota all the time to comfortably round third and score the 4th Baycats run of the evening. Skylar Janice still throwing in that London bullpen. Pitching change, I'm sure, is imminent for Roop Chanderdat.
For now, he's being as patient as possible with his left-hander. Travis Keys. Roy Sando 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts tonight. Pitch from Keys, and it's off the glove of the shortstop and into left field. Great diving attempt by Tyler Mosher. He could not come up with it, and Roy Sando gets on base.
Well, that's usually what you tend to see from Roy Sando. Hard hits. It's great contact on that. Tyler Mosher made a diving attempt, just couldn't hold on to it, ricocheting off him into left field.
So every Baycat 1 through 8 in the order has reached base safely tonight on that single by Roy Sando. And I mean, despite the strikeouts, he is hitting well. A .444 average in the first round against Toronto. He's definitely putting the ball in play, as you just saw. It just seems like a high percentage of his outs have been strikeouts. First pitch strike to Kyle Maves. Maves 0 for 1.
You have to imagine this is going to be the last batter for Travis Keys with Kenise Ejo on deck. Him coming up will be the 5th time you see the top of the order this evening.
Well, Ejo hitting from the right side. They're probably bringing a right-hander to face him. The Keys will face the left-hander Maves here. You definitely don't want to leave him too long. If he has emptied the tank, the last thing you want is this score really getting out of reach. For now, the Majors still within striking distance, down by 3. Barrie looking for more. No balls, 2 strikes. The runners, Odd and Ando, take their leads. Pitch is high, and Maves taking all the way. James Anderson, Nolan Macabrota putting up a couple of runs for some insurance here. 4-1 Baycats. 2 in the 6th, and now 2 here in the 8th. To third, and it's through into left field. They'll hold the runner. It will load the bases. And we're back to the top of the order for Canisijo. So 3 straight singles off Travis Keys. Here's Roop Chanderdat, and that will be the end of the line for Travis Keys tonight.
Which is an incredible outing for Travis Keys, approaching, if not over 100 pitches at this point. Nearly matched his season high of 8 innings, which was earlier this year. Just his first start of the year went 8 innings, just only able to go 7 1/3. The 8th inning here just unraveling for him a little bit too much for the liking of his manager, Roop Chanderdat.
4-1 Baycats, bottom of the 8th inning. We'll be back. Bottom of the 8th inning, Canisijo comes to bat, nowhere to put them as the bases are loaded with 1 out, and the Baycats on top by 3, looking for more. They will face relief pitcher Skylar Janice.
Janice, in his 3rd appearance now in the 2024 playoffs, had a 2-0 record in the regular season to a 1.86 ERA in 14 games out of the bullpen. One of those pitchers that you're not going to see a ton of walks from. At 23 strikeouts in 19 1/3 innings of the regular season, just 3 walks.
First pitch is a called strike. This is really the type of pitcher the Baycats need right now in their bullpen. A guy who can give you those middle innings and come out as often as needed. This is his 3rd playoff appearance, inning and 2/3 of work for the Majors in round 1 against the Hamilton Cardinals. Here's the pitch. Fastball away.
The only thing for Janice, though, he kind of has those reverse splits, usually better, at least in this the 2024 regular season, better against left-handed hitters as opposed to right-handed. 262 opponents average against righties this year.
So it's interesting he didn't come in to face Kyle Maves then, given those stats that you just shared. They held him back.
Opponents had a 133 average from the left side of the plate in the regular season.
So in hindsight, you might have wanted Maves facing him rather than Keys, who had clearly emptied the tank. Swing and a miss by Ejo. Chased one off the plate. It's 2-2.
Ejo a little bit behind that fastball from Janice on the outside part of the plate.
Middle infield ready for the ground ball. Tyler Mosher and Gibson Krasminski. They've been busy tonight.
Caden Cardoso, the first baseman, playing shallow on the grass.
Lifted high and foul to the right side. Count holds, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Baycat veteran Brad Grieveson now throwing in the Barrie bullpen. Looks like Carlos Sano taking some final warm-ups as well.
Still be a save situation at this point unless Baycats can add on here. The base is loaded.
This has been a long break for Frank Garces. If Josh Matlow was thinking about putting him out in the 9th. Last thing you want is that arm tightening up. But an important inning for the Baycats here to get as much insurance as possible in a tight, low-scoring game such as this one.
Well, this is exactly what you would have wanted. The Baycats up just 2-1 coming into this inning. They've added 2 more and are threatening again. Still just 1 out.
Here's the pitch on the way. Popped up and fouled again.
The work they've done to force Keys out of this game has been really impressive. 6 batters up so far in this inning, 4 base hits, including that leadoff double by Ryan Rio. But it's that error by Gibson Krasminski still looming large in this inning.
Absolutely, still just 1 out. It's a full count to Canisijo, nowhere to put him. He knows he's going to see something good to hit here. Here it comes. No, it bounces up to the plate, ball 4. And that was not what Skylar Janice wanted to do. He walks in a run.
Not a good sign from first batter out of the bullpen, a leadoff walk. And I mentioned it earlier, you're not going to see a lot of walks from Skylar Janice this year. His ratio is very strikeout heavy.
Brandon Hernandez now with the bases loaded, still just 1 out. Janice with a pitch, fouled away. Real shame for Majors fans as they watch this lead just continue to build after a solid pitching performance by Travis Keys tonight, getting the game 1 start. Pitched very well going into the 8th inning. This one back up the middle. It's into center field for a base hit. 2 more runs will score. The relay is dropped. And the Baycats now in cruise control with a 7-1 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning.
The Baycats continue to put the pedal to the metal. Make that 3 hits now on the game for Brandon Hernandez, including that some heads-up base running by Canisijo going 1st to 3rd on that.
So Ando scores, Maves scores, Ejo at 3rd as you mentioned, and Brandon Hernandez at 1st. Runners on the corners for the Baycats. No let up here in this bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch misses outside.
9th batter of the inning for Barrie. It seems like an inning that's taken longer almost than the rest of the game itself, the way that the 2 starting pitchers were cruising.
After the series against Toronto, this is a team that it's now hardwired in them, I think, to keep the pedal to the metal. They are not stepping off the gas here at all.
Well, the Baycats have put up double-digit hit totals in each of their home playoff games this year, 12 in this one already.
Here's the pitch. High and in. 3 balls, no strikes. Skylar Janice really struggling out there. Walking Canisijo, the base hit off of Brandon Hernandez, and now Malik Williams with a very favorable 3-0 count. Here's the pitch. Called strike.
Smart not to give him the green light here with the double play in order. Had the runner Hernandez been on second base, you might have seen Malik Williams have a bit more of an aggressive approach there.
Third base coach Andrew White ran up to Canisijo and whispered something in his ear really quickly prior to this 3-1 pitch. Ejo takes a normal size lead. Here's the pitch. It's on the ground to second. Could be 2. It's bobbled by Gibson Krasminski. He has no play. Oh, costly defense for the Majors here in this bottom of the 8th inning, and this one is getting away from them. 8-1 Barrie.
The designated hitter number 34.
Well, now 2 errors in the inning for Gibson Krasminski. I'm sure that this inning is going to be one to forget, not only for the Majors, but Krasminski himself. The inning that began a one-run ball game just keeps slipping away for London.
Swing and a miss by James Anderson, who comes to the plate for the first time tonight. He came on a pinch run for Ryan Rio, who doubled to start this inning. Anderson has already scored a run in this inning. Called strike. Might have been off the plate a little bit, but strike called by home plate ump Sean Schaefer. No balls, 2 strikes to James Anderson.
This is Anderson's first plate appearance of these playoffs.
Pitch from Janice. Swing and a miss. Anderson down on strikes, 2 away now. And the 11th Baycat to bat will be Nolan Macabroda. Well, when a team's offense explodes for a big inning, as the Baycats have here in this bottom of the 8th inning, that's one thing. When your defense makes it a little easier for them than it needs to be, that's quite another. This one to first. Nice glove play by Cardoza. He'll take it himself and steps on the bag for the out. Baycats explode for 6 in the 8th. They'll take a 7-run lead to the 9th when we return. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Last chance for the London Majors. It's an 8-1 Baycats lead in the top of the 9th inning. It's brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Let's hold him and go home. Carlos Sano will come on to work tonight after a brilliant pitching performance by Baycat starting ace Frank Garces tonight.
The final line for Frank Garces, he had 100 pitches through 8 innings. Put up 10 strikeouts, gave up just 3 hits and 1 earned run, and no walks.
That is high-level stuff right there. Travis Keys matched him pretty good until things unraveled in the 8th. Clearly just ran out of steam.
Now I would imagine it's just that long break for how long that bottom of the 8th inning was. That probably was the deciding factor to not put out Garces to finish out this ball game. long layoff in those half innings.
Sano had 2 innings of work in the Toronto series, game 2 at Christie Pitts. The only road game the Baycats have had so far in this playoffs run. Time is called.
Victor Plaza, former Baycat, looking for his first hit tonight.
Garcett's retired 4 in a row, 18 of 19 at one point, but finished strong. Got a 3 up, 3 down, 8th inning. Majors finally got to him in that 7th. A double and a single to bring home Eduardo De Olio. That one right at Plaz. Hopefully he's okay. Crowd gasping.
There's a lot of velocity on that fastball, and it caught Plaz up high. I wonder, as he was trying to spin out of the way of it, he caught his hand, because he is down in quite a bit of pain here.
Well, he will head to the London dugout. A pinch runner for Victor Plaz.
It's Jake and Chandradat coming on the run for Plaz.
Pitch running for the Majors, Jagan Chandradat.
And Eduardo De Olio comes to bat with a man on and nobody out. So a 7-run Baycat lead.
Number 36, Eduardo De Olio.
A very scary moment there for Victor Plaz. Hope he's okay. You mentioned very loud, audible gasp for the crowd here as Josh Matlow comes out to talk to home plate umpire Sean Schaefer.
Well, whatever explanation he wanted is satisfactory, and Matlow will head back to the Barrie dugout. Eight-1 Baycats. Carlos Sano trying to close this one out here for Barrie. Chandradat with the lead, and that one gets past catcher Hayden Jaco. He goes to the backstop. Chandradat to second. And a pass ball.
Well, how scary that hit by pitch was. It kind of took all the energy out of this crowd. It's surprising considering this is closeout inning for Barrie in a playoff game.
Sano deals. Swing and a miss. Carlos Sano dialed up a little something extra on that fastball. A reminder, this series resumes at Labatt Memorial Park on Sunday night. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 6:05. First pitch. Catch that on the London Majors YouTube channel, and then we're back here Monday night, 6 o'clock, to close off the Labor Day weekend with Game 3 here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Carlos Sano checks the runner. Here's the pitch on the ground to third. Handled by Odd, makes the throw over. It's in time for the out. Runner advances, 1 away.
The first baseman, number 34.
Strong play there from Adam Odd. He kind of had to scoop that one on the run and make a throw in all one fluid motion. Made it look really easy.
He looks very confident at third base, settling into that position nicely. He's been there for a while now, and a versatile player who has been called upon to play a number of different positions for the Baycats, like so many of them this season. But sees steadier work now at third and really has done a nice job. A number of other Baycats seem to struggle with that spot defensively this year, but Odd has taken the bull by the horns quite nicely here. Here's Caden Cardozo, 1 out. Swings and misses through the first pitch.
Well, for Adam Odd, the majority of his games this year were at second base. 17 at second base compared to 10 at third and then 9 at shortstop.
Yeah, the return of Roy Sandos sort of solidified that middle infield of Hernandez and Ando, and that's given Odd the chance to play third base here in the postseason. Foul back, and the count is 0-2.
We saw in Game 2 in Toronto in the first round, Roy Sando was unavailable. Adam Odd moved right back over to that second base spot. So Definitely someone very valuable and versatile in this Baycats roster.
Good crowd here at the ballpark, but a very quiet crowd for this opening game of round 2. These fans were making a lot more noise in the Toronto series, it felt like.
Well, I think that hit by pitch on Plaz really took a lot of energy out of the crowd.
Seemed like it. Here's the pitch from Sano, fouled back to the screen. We do have a few youngsters making a lot of noise, but they seem to be accounting for about 95% of the volume in the ballpark right now.
Well, you know that the crowd will erupt if and when Sano gets through this 9th inning.
Some of these fans don't mind quiet crowds because then they can hear us from the other side of the stands here. They can enjoy our broadcast. I've actually had fans tell us that before. Carlos Sano with an 0-2 count. Here it comes. And it's low. Good job by Cardozo. He didn't bite. An uphill climb for the Majors, down by 7 here in the 9th. Pinch runner Jaden Chanderdat at third base. A little bit of applause now behind Sano as he gets ready for the 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Popped up, and it's foul. The at-bat will continue.
Cardoso has been one of the key catalysts to the offense of the Majors all season long. 326 average in this regular season with runners in scoring position.
One ball, 2 strikes. Sano is ready. Swung on and missed. An abbreviated delivery by Sano, and he unloaded the fastball, and Cardozo swung right through it. So 2 outs now, and Starling Joseph represents the last bullet for the Majors here in Game 1.
Well, you can tell the pressure was on there for Cardoso to make something happen. A big swing on a high fastball from Carlos Sano. That high heat went right by him.
Strikeout for IMP North. Sano's first of the ball game.
11 strikeouts now as a team for the Majors.
First pitch is a called strike. Baycats got on the board at the bottom of the 6th inning with a pair of runs, and then 6 in the 8th. Here's the pitch. Outside, just a little further off the plate than the previous pitch by Carlos Sano. One on 1 the count. Here's the pitch. Fouled over the screen. And over our heads, strike 2. And now Carlos Sano will try to finish off Starling Joseph and nail down the win here in Game 1.
I mentioned that crowd was going to erupt, and here it is.
Hayden Jago puts down the sign for Carlos Sano. It's a 1-2 count to Starling Joseph. He waggles the bat and waits for the pitch. Sano deals, and it's in the dirt. Low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, he knows he can mix that off-speed pitch in there. The Majors have been aggressive all night, including Starling Joseph, who's looking for his first hit. 0 for 3 coming into this at-bat.
Barrie Baycats a strike away from taking Game 1 of this series. Carlos Sano trying to finish it. Here's the pitch. It bounces up to the plate, and the count now 2-2. 3-2, excuse me. Full count to Starling Joseph.
Tried to mix that same off-speed action in there, trying to get Joseph to chase, but no dice.
Barrie Baycats swept the Toronto Maple Leafs in round 1 of this 2024 playoffs, and they'll try to start Game 2 here with a win. Carlos Sano with a 3-2 pitch on the way, and he just got a piece to stay alive. just a fraction of an inch away from getting that third strike. Starling Joseph really battling back here.
It looked like he fouled that pitch straight down into the batter's box. Very close to fouling it off himself.
That pitch jammed him, and probably feeling the vibration of that through the bat handle. Not a good feeling.
He's really battling here. Battle back from 2 strikes to make it full.
Jaco puts down the sign for Carlos Sano. Comes set. Joseph ready. 2 outs in the ninth. Pitch from Sano on the way. Foul back to the screen. What an at-bat by Starling Joseph. This feels like a 1-run game here in this top of the ninth inning. Well, Joseph battling as if it was.
Well, with the way the crowd's been backing the pitchers for the Baycats all evening long on 2-strike counts, just upping that intensity that much more.
Sano nods as he gets the sign. Comes set. And the 3-2 pitch is on the way. Ball 4, he lost him. So runners on the corners now. And here's a guy that can do some damage. Right fielder Byron Reichstein.
Another guy that's been looking for his first hit of the evening. Came pretty close. He had a line drive out to Brandon Hernandez at shortstop earlier in the game. One of the few majors this evening that hasn't been a strikeout victim.
Well, manager Roop Chanderdad had nothing but praise when we asked him about the veterans on his ball club. Byron Reichstein, Cleveland Brownlee, a couple of guys who are IBL champions from the 2021-22 versions of this team. And that one in the dirt gets away from the catcher, Jaco. To the backstop it goes. It brings in a run. So it's an 8-2 ball game. Starling Joseph goes to second base. And that'll just keep us all here a little bit longer tonight.
A couple wild pitches from Sano.
Most of these fans aren't working tomorrow anyways. Who's kidding who, right? Friday going into a long weekend. May as well just enjoy yourself here at the ballpark.
Exactly.
8-2. Carlos Sano needs one more out to nail this one down. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul tip. That's a strike.
Well, that's the thing. Quite a few fans have stuck around here throughout this game. They were waiting for that big 8th inning that the Baycats put up.
Took a while for the offense to get firing on all cylinders tonight, but when it did, boy, they didn't let up. An 8-2 Baycat lead. Here's the pitch. Another swing and a miss for a strike. 1-2. One run in for the Majors here in the top of the ninth. They need 6 more. Crowd chanting one more strike. That's exactly what they need from Carlos Sano right here. 2 out in the inning. Sano checks the runner, and he deals. And it's a fly ball to left field. Macabrona sees it. He's got it! And that's the 3rd out of the inning. The Baycats take game 1 of round 2 from the London Majors here tonight.
Incredible game, working so quickly. What was a pitcher's duel between Frank Garces and Travis Keys ends up going the Baycats' way. They finally get to Keys in that 6th-run 8th inning and shut the door in the 9th inning with Carlos Sano. Baycats with yet another double-digit hit total and a home playoff victory in 2024.
Game 2 Sunday night at Labatt Memorial Park, and we will see you right here on Monday evening, Labor Day, 6:05, first pitch. London Majors, Barrie Baycats, Game 3. Come on up and join us here at the ballpark at Vintage Throne Stadium. Final tonight, Barrie wins Game 1 by a score of 8-2. For Julius, Hern, Brian Backland, and our Baycats TV crew, I'm Ben Davy. Good night from Springwater Township.